How y'all feel out there?
I'm light years, call me eons. When the snare kick in, the beat is neon. Lights, yeah, I'm feeling magnificent. Care less what I'm up against. Yeah, you know I stay fresh like peppermint. Right. And I dive head first when I jump in it. I run it back like a champ, won't fumble it.
Alright, y'all, welcome to Legendary Beers, where it's not typical, but you could count on it to always be real. I'm here, and I'm back. And without further ado, we got a mukbang. So y'all know, I'm doing part 3 of how I got scammed. Listen, I went out to lunch yesterday, and I got some leftover shrimp Alfredo, my ginger, and we finna get into it. Let's pray, get into the story. Amen. Listen, we lit, y'all. Whole lot lit situation, whole lot lit vibes, y'all already knowing. Let me take a bite first. Check it out, y'all. I'm telling you, this Alfredo, banging. Banging, y'all. Alright, y'all. Without further ado, so where I stopped off at was, I noticed on the refrigerator, it's a big note saying don't give people no money. He trying to get $1,500 out of me. Over a couple of red flags, because he talking about I had to pay for my service animals. That note was in my face, I told y'all. So I sit down in my car. He's sending me all these links to Zelle. He like, you could do Zelle, Cash App, whatever. Links to Zelle, links to Cash App. The application fee and everything. So I'm like, you know, I really need to see where it says you are the owners of this house. I'm kind of stalling them off like, yeah, I downloaded the Zelle, whatever, but I really need that information so I can know. He told me, well, you want to see my license? I'll show you my license so you can know this is my real name that I'm telling you, whatever. I said, you can send that over too, but I needed to match the deed to the house so I can see the address. If you're the owner, you don't have no problem showing me the stuff. He's like, well, I'm not home, I'm actually at work. Making up any excuse, right? So I'm like, y'all. Check out this shrimp, though. Big as hell. I think they're colossal shrimp. So I'm like, hell no. Hell no. We ain't doing that. Like, you know, when you can send it over, then I'll send the money. I'm finna get ready to fill out the application. I wasn't filling it out though, because now when I'm sitting in the car, I'm sitting there thinking about it. Everything in my being is like, no, don't do it. Look into it. Like, really, my body wasn't aligned at all. And I'm real big on energy and my body and body, mind, and soul aligning with decisions that I'm making and stuff. So my body wasn't feeling it. My mind wasn't feeling it. My soul was like, we ain't doing it. So son told me, Google the address. I got certain databases that I could use. So I said, alright, give me a minute, because he calling and stuff too on the other line. I'm like, give me a minute, everything downloading. I had to set up some accounts. I didn't have Zelle, whatever the case may be. So I start Googling the house. I Googled some things to try to figure out how could I find out the person who owned the house. So I'm Googling, looking in database, whatever the case may be. I found out that over the last couple years, this house was in a couple different people's names. So I'm like, okay. So I look up the person whose name kept popping up the most. I look them up, and the database that I got, it told me the person name, their phone number and stuff. I called the phone number. Phone number disconnected. So I'm like, okay, gotta keep digging. Right away, the first name who kept coming up was not this nigga name. So I kept digging and found out some people who was affiliated with this person. Awesome. This database was awesome, for real. So I figured that out. So I found how many people that's affiliated with this person that keeps coming up on this house. So I ended up getting in touch with the lady, which it was a lady as well. It was a lady. Her husband. So I get in touch with him. He's like, well, I'm like, do you know? Do you own, or you know who owns this property? Gave him the address or whatever. He was like, yeah, I'm the part owner or some sort of what he said. I'm the part owner, but my wife actually owns the house. So I'm like, great. I'm here right now, and a gentleman is trying to get me to send money for the property. I've looked at it. I've been in the property, and I really like it. I'm trying to see if I could, move forward. But he's just he's just making me skeptical. LJ, making me skeptical, right? So he's like, huh? He's like, we have a property management. Like, who did you speak with? How'd you get in? Do you have the keys? I'm like, listen, bruh. He says, oh yeah, and I'm actually from New York. Cause I'm like, can you get down here personally? I'm like, well, can you get down here? He's like, well, no, I'm actually in New York and I'm working. We're in New York. We live in New York, whatever. So I'm like, I'm telling you, no, I'm like, well, I'm telling you, this is what's going on. I don't know what management company you have, but they are really sucking at keeping this property secure. This gentleman said he has already talked to several people, and several people have came to visit this property. He has the code and everything. He's like, well, do you have the key? Have you been in there, whatever? I'm like, I'm telling you I've been in there. I'm telling you I have the key. He's making it seem like I'm the bad one. I'm like, listen, sir. I am a security specialist. I am reaching out to you because I looked all your information up online in my database. And I'm trying to tell you, rightfully so, that somebody has your property on a chokehold. And people is coming to visit and giving this man their money. Why are you questioning me as if I'm lying to you? Yeah, well, I just don't understand. Da, 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 da. So he like, we up top, we kind of bark a little different. So I had to bark back like, listen, bro, I'm not from Georgia. I'm from Philly. I know all about, up top. Like, you're not talking to no slow person that's, you know, with Southern hospitality. You lucky I even gave you this information. You lucky I even took time to even look up what look up you to let you know what's going on. I could have said no, bro, to the bull and kept it pushing. I'm trying to save you, time and possible lawsuits from people getting scammed, or saving time for you of possibly having somebody living in your stuff and you don't even know. He's like, well, I'm not worried about that. If that happens, we just put them out.
Really, nigga?
I'm up top behavior. I'm like, that's wrong. I said, from one business owner to another business owner, or entrepreneur from another entrepreneur, that's wrong as hell. I said, he's literally trying to get $1,500 out of me. You understand? He said several people looked at this property. He probably did this to several people. You're going to find somebody, give them their money, thinking they living in there. They can live in there because they got the keys, he got the access to the code to get in the box. And you're going to be out of luck. You come floating down here 2-3 months later, and it's a whole family in your shit, thinking they paying $1,300 a month. He's like, could you send me the pictures of the video? I said, I'm actually an influencer as well. I vlogged the whole thing. I vlogged your whole property. So I sent them little clips of what I could. I guess he needed reinsurance. I don't know. He really pissed me off for real. So I did that, whatever. And I said, listen, bro, I'm out. I go look at something else. I'm looking at apartments now somewhere else. In the middle of me to an apartment, he calls with his wife. And I'm talking to his wife, and he's like still kind of being like arrogant or whatever. He's like, well, what is your name? I told your name to the police or whatever. I said, I don't care if you, I said, miss, let's talk woman to woman. First of all, your husband is not a good customer service person. So I don't know if this is how he is with you as a wife, but he needs to know how to have etiquette, and know when to be professional. He's questioning me and making it seem as if I am the criminal when I'm trying to help y'all. I don't even have to take this phone call right now, but I'm doing it because I am a business owner as well, and I know how it is when people try to get over on you. I'm a human being first. I'm a woman first. And I know how it is for men to try to get over on you. So, I'm trying to let you guys know. I said, I've sent the videos of me in your property. I'm telling you, this man gave me the code. I even offered to keep the keys, or at least give it to your management company so people could stop going in there. Your husband's response is ridiculous. And that's not how you run business. She's just quiet, listening or whatever. He's like, well, I'm just saying, I mean, we're on the way in New York. There's nothing we can do. I said, there's something you can do. Get on an emergency flight and figure out what's going on with your property. You need to get the locks changed. You need to get the lockbox code changed. Or the lockbox period. Because I wouldn't even trust that manufacturer that made it. I said, you don't know how long he had the code. Obviously, your management company is not changing the code. They go through an app called Rently and let people self-serve themselves, like in the property, like self-enter themselves and let them walk through. You're supposed to lock the box and, you know, put the key back or whatever. That started over the pandemic. So, being as though we have that now, and this is everywhere throughout the United States, the management company needs to be changing the box code at least once a week. You probably got hundreds of people signing up to go look at these properties. You feel me? And the fact that the scammer, found my information or intercept my information from a secure site, whether it was Rently, whether it was, I was looking at apartments.com, whichever one it was, he was able to intercept my information. So, therefore, which I told them as well, y'all need to be looking a little bit more deeper than just really your management company. They have thought here, but you also need to look at how many websites you guys have this property on and making sure it's no scams going on throughout the websites, because he intercepted me from a legitimate website. I'm like, another thing he did. He sent me the address via text. On the website, whatever I looked it up from, it was the wrong address. So I'm telling him from the site address, but I'm telling him the guy text me the right address. He's like, well, that's not the address. I said, nigga, why are you focused on that's not the right address when I'm telling you I'm in your fucking house? It doesn't matter if it's posted online a certain way. This is your address. This is your house. Right? So I'm like, see, that's the problem with up top people and guys that think that they know what they talking about or know what they doing, because they so stuck on whatever it is that they think they know. They losing for real. And I don't like that for us up top people. It's a lot of people like that. I was raised like that. But growing up and starting to travel and things like that, I started seeing life in different terms and from different perspectives from being around a lot of people. But if you allow yourself to be stuck in where you from and where you grew up, and you constantly just seeing familiar faces and things like that, you're going to go through this. You know what I mean? You're going to act like that. So, I'm like, going back and forth with them in the middle of another tour. I said, listen, to the woman. I said, listen, right now, I'm ruining another property. I really liked your property. I really liked your house. I don't see you doing nothing for me to compensate on a price that's clearly online and a couple different search engines of that price. So I'm going to move forward. You want to call the cops? Call them. I'm giving you this man information that contacted me. I'm giving you a video of me and your property. I've told you to go to the lockbox. I even sent you a piece of mail that says your address and a picture of the front of your property. So you can do what you want with it. I'm not here to keep counseling you guys on how you should be. If it was me, I would come down here. I would be talking to my property management company, looking into another one maybe. Talking to a lawyer, seeing if you could comb through wherever you posted it online or wherever it's coming up online, see if they could get it to take it down. And do something of that sort. But just calling the cops is really not going to work. It's a visible man at this point. We don't even know if the number that he's calling from is a legitimate number. It may be from WhatsApp. It may be from a text now. Maybe from any other searching, any other platform that produces burnout numbers. You don't know. But if it was me, I would be on my way. You guys ain't got time? I offered to go to your management company to let them know what's going on. But this, I can't do this. I can't do it. So, I just egged them for, after that, gave them all the information, put them all on a block list because it was just too much. It was just too much. But yeah, that's the story. Thank God my antennas was up in the air. My Most High, my God, my ancestors was watching over me that day. I needed it. But yeah. So that's the story. I hope y'all liked it. Let's get it. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I'm dropping another banger. And it's lit. Enjoy your weekend.
How y'all feel out there?
I'm light years, call me eons. When the snare kick in, the beat is neon. Lights, yeah, I'm feeling magnificent. Care less what I'm up against. Yeah, you know I stay fresh like peppermint. And I dive head first when I jump in it. I run it